Right, so part 2 of Satoshi Kamiya's Alduin, and we're going to go into the collapsing. I wasn't initially going to make this video, but because the first part had such a big response and interaction with everyone, I got a lot of messages saying, make part 2 please. So I'm only making part 2, I will not be making shaping. Even if a million people ask me, I will not make it, because you need to learn how to fold and shape on your own. So that's how it's going to work. So let's bring this down. I was going to keep the camera up high to show, let me just see if I can, yeah, maybe a wee bit higher. Try and get a good angle first. Right, so first of all, this is what the crease pattern looks like. Hopefully it is correct. I had a few coloured crease patterns sent to me, so this is what I coloured in. And a few of them are different here. As you can see, that change every time they hit the diagonal, but some collapse like that and others like this. So we're going to do it like this. Pardon me. Oh yeah, I forgot the blue crease there. And then it's orange there. Oh, there's that one. Wrong orange one, but I'll just use that. There. Anyway, we are going to start collapsing. So you should have everything pre-creased by now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the bottom. Basically collapse this amount of paper, these sections. Do the same on this side, and then we'll work inwards. So first of all, we're just going to start making these mountain and valley pose. Oh, I forgot to say, orange is mountain, blue is valley. I'm not sure if it's colour side up or not, because sometimes these parts get shown. This gets flipped over, so this is the white side that gets shown. I'm not entirely sure if it's colour side up or white side up, but just to make sure, use the same coloured paper on both sides. That will save a lot of hassle. And I do apologise if I've got black nails. I was making paper, so they won't come out for a couple of days. Right, so I'm just going to start making these mountain and valley folds. There's something so satisfying about collapsing the crease pattern that has the creases coloured in on it. Is so much satisfying to collapse. So like that. Check that you can see this alright. Yep. And then I am going to make this mountain fold it over, and then make the mountain fold on the bottom one first to help lock it in place. Then I'm going to bring, see let me show you, because this won't lie completely flat, you need to bring this part together. So make this the mountain fold, and then valley, valley, and then as you do that, it will come flat together. And all you need to do is push this part in to lock it. So that's basically that closed sync done. That will stay in place now. And then just make the mountain, valley, mountain to finish off that part. So, like that. Again, I'm just going to check. Yeah, you can see that fine. Now we are going to leave this part there now and just continue the mountain folds and valleys straight down to here. Now we're just going to squish these parts together. And basically we've done everything on the left side. So what I want you to do is everything that we've just done here, turn your paper around and do it here. I'm not going to show you because I want to try and keep this tutorial as small as possible and straight to the point. So do everything that we've just done on this side right here. So after you've done that, everything is symmetrical on both sides. Right, now that we've got the right side collapsed and the left side, the creases are coming down the way, we've left these till later on. We'll then collapse this part. So it's basically straightforward. You bring all these layers together, you pull up and then push in, and then you'll perform that wee squash fold, and then we'll tuck this part inside like that, just fold over the now, and then like that, and then this part right here, you just squash, you just flatten it, like so. And then make the mountain fold here, and this will naturally click into place. And then the same there. So that is basically that. Let me unfold it into it again, in case you didn't get it. So bring these mountain and valley folds together. So we've done that on both sides. Squash the valley folds in between, we've got that. Bring the paper in front to perform the squash here. Flatten this part, and then use this mountain fold and valley to lock the rest in place, like so. So then it will stay locked like that. Right, now got the left side done, got the right side done, got this bottom part done. Now what we're going to do is make this mountain fold and mountain and the same here. And then doing that, that will allow us to collapse these square units. And also make this long valley fold and here as well. And then you'll just, as the creases come up, change the direction of them when they hit the diagonal. Then every time you do it on one side, repeat it on the other, just again to keep it symmetrical. Like that. Now we can bring this layer, I'm down here, this layer up, make the mountain fold, mountain fold, mountain fold, this point gets pushed inside, we make the valley, 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 push that in, we will repeat it on this side. Like so, and by doing that, that causes the paper to curve up. We then push this part inside, like that. And before we go any further, we're going to collapse these square units. So just pull out this top layer, like that. Push in to make the 4 mountain folds. And then if you remember, in order to collapse these, the paper has to come right round, parallel with each other, so we need to bring paper right down like that. Make the valley folds and the valley fold here, and then fold it in half. And then it's just a matter of trying to get the layers all nice and neat together, like so. So you should have this. And then again we're going to make that crease, or that fold over, push this part down. In fact, we're going to do the same what we've done here on this side. I'll show you again, because it will make this part easier. So same again, make the mountain, 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 push up. And then the same again at the bottom. And then bring the paper together, flatten. This up a wee bit. And flatten like that. And now, because this point is pushed upwards, we need to invert it in order to collapse these parts. So you should have something like this at the moment. And let me see if I can, easier to do it this way. Right, so we're now going to push out these mountain folds right here. So that's one corner. Do the same on this side. Right, now we are going to bring this part together. So, I need to make these valid folds. Right, so the paper, I did a quick test fold when I wasn't recording, that it doesn't get sunk inside, it's wrong. So it comes outwards, and it's slightly different from the crease pattern. So, what we need to do is basically bring this mountain fold edge up to this one, and then you just need to crease like this. Like that. Make these mountain folds, make a valley fold. Try and swing it around like that. Then as you bring these layers together, it forms like this. And then you fold down. So basically this part was trapped inside, which we didn't want. So we have that. And this is what the paper looks like on this side. Like that. If we turn it around, we have this. Right, so hopefully you managed that. If not, rewind back and have another quick watch. So now, as you can see, all this paper, as you've collapsed it this way, it forces these in this direction. Right, let me zoom up a wee bit. So now if we turn it this way and then push in these creases just to put them back in place, we can then extend the mounting folds up and the valley folds and collapse these square units the exact same as we've done with the toes, or the toes. So just a matter of doing one mounting fold at a time. There's the first one, and then maybe I should use slightly smaller paper so it's easier to work with, but use the big sheet just to try and show it better, but the paper is a bad choice. Then the second one, and then the last two. Then as you come up here, just use the existing creases and flatten it. Number 3, and the final one. Number 4, there. So you should have this at this point. And again, I'm not sure why the crease pattern shows it differently on this part, because there is progress photos and the person who took the picture has this unit in front and he makes a really good dragon. So I'm not sure why. That's probably another why. Another reason it's also a challenge. Kamiya doesn't fully complete his crease patterns. There's always bits and bobs that aren't actually included that you need to figure out. So that is basically the first part done. We will now move on to the head. Okay, so let's go. New battery in as well, full power. Now we can squash this part and then open up and open sync on this triangle right here. And then make this the valley fold. So we've done it on this side, near enough. Now let me just try and fix this wee bit. Like so. Turn it around, repeat it on this side. Like that. So you have something like this. Now make the mountain fold. And then the mountain fold here as well. And then we'll just puff out these mountain folds. In fact, we'll also make the outside mounting fold as well. That will allow us to collapse this part. So that's the centre done. We just need to collapse each side. So we'll do the bottom bit first. So it's same again. Follow the creases. And then it gets tucked inside like that. Right, so we've done it on this side, turn it around, and we will do this side as a wee bit. So, first of all, make the mounting folds, the two long mounting folds, to basically collapse the centre. Then we will puff out these creases. Oh yeah, I've not got this one in. Wonder why it wasn't completely lying flat. Always happens with me. I always do it good on one side and then I struggle on the other side. So we have that. And this is a type of fold where you need to get everything in place at the same time in order for it to collapse nice and flat. Okay, so that's that done. We will now zoom out. Put this back in place. So basically we've got all this bottom part collapsed. I'm going to double check, make sure everything is fine. And it looks it. You should have this. And on the other side, okay, final part is the head. And again, there's a slight difference. And here we've only got these extra, we've got this extra mounting fold here and here. So let me try and get a good angle. I need to zoom up a wee bit. Zoom, there. Right, we'll work on this part first. So make the mounting fold. And then fold this part together and repeat it on the other side. So we have that. And then we will basically repeat that right here. Turn it around, repeat it on this side. Every time you do something on one side, do it on the other. Keeps everything symmetrical and much easier to collapse. And that side. Now we have, let me just, oops. We have this whole unit worth collapsed right here. Now we will make the outside mounting fold. and we will tuck this part underneath here, and then puff out this part over it. Like so. And we will repeat it on this side. And now is just a matter of trying to bring this bit together. I've not actually test photoed this part, so this is going to be the first time doing this for me. Let me see. Nope. Is that correct? So the final part is, let me see. Had to quickly work it out off camera there. Right, so we make this the mountain fold. We ignore this actual crease for now. Turn this around. So we have this. This part will get pushed up because we've got the mountain fold here, it goes up the way, and the same on this side. Because the paper is coming down, it needs to go somewhere. So it pushes upwards like that. And it's the same on this side. Like so. And that is basically the model collapsed. That is the full collapse of the Alduin by Satoshi Kamiya. And hopefully you have it all collapsed. So that is it. You are now on your own for shaping, and I wish you all the best with it, because I don't know how to shape it as well. So good luck everyone, and thank you so much for watching.